Last week we absolutely crushed it with the picks. The week before we absolutely crushed it with the picks. Let's try to do 3 in a row. What's going on, fantasy football fans? I'm your host, Hussein the Brain, and you're watching The Couch. These are my NFL DFS picks for week 3. The site we're using is cryptofantasysports.com. It has the same exact salary cap as DraftKings. So if a player is $5,000 on DraftKings, they're going to be $5,000 on CFS. You can follow the link below in the description to enter and play with me at CFS. Also, I'll be having another giveaway this week for a free NFL jersey. They have free rolls. It's free to enter. I'm giving away an NFL jersey. Again, the winner from week 1 got their Andrew Luck jersey already, and I'll be announcing details on how to enter this giveaway at the end of the video, and also announcing last week's winner at the end of the video, so make sure you stay tuned. Let's go on to the picks. Starting off with quarterbacks, I like a lot of quarterbacks. Well, not really. I like there's a lot of wide receivers in this slate. I narrowed down the quarterbacks a little bit. I narrowed down the running backs. I narrowed down the kickers, the defenses. The only real difference between Crypto Fantasy Sports and DraftKings as far as lineups goes is you pick a kicker. On this site, all the kickers are 2,500, so you can pick virtually any kicker, and you have to pick one. We have expensive players, we have risky players, we have medium price players, and I always try to provide you those value and super cheap bargain players for each position. Starting off with the quarterback, for some reason I like to do the cheapest to the most expensive when it comes to quarterbacks. My absolute cheapest quarterback I would consider is Case Keenum, although I won't be picking him this week. I just wanted to give you my cheapest option, so that's 5,200. Case Keenum. The matchup's not that great going against the Ravens, but a little bit of a contrarian pick right there. He did have some kind of injury designation, but that went away. He practiced fully. He's ready to go. Now, a guy that I'm much more excited about is Ryan Tannehill, and this would be a player that I'd much rather consider than Keenum. Like I said, Keenum probably not picking. Ryan Tannehill I might pick, mainly because of his price. Now, if you hit on all the other positions and you get Ryan Tannehill, I think you may be able to work in a tournament. He's more of a real-life good quarterback. He's more of a cheap cash game quarterback. I don't see him doing bad as far as his stats goes, as far as his performance, and I don't see him doing great as far as his individual stats goes. He's lukewarm, throwing 2 touchdowns a game. Like, that's just how he is. 2 touchdowns week 1, 2 touchdowns week 2, 2 touchdowns week 3. Seems like a safe projection. For that price, though, he's going to bring great value. Going to be hard to beat that value unless you hit that home run quarterback. You pick that QB1 or QB2, maybe QB3 this week. Moving on. Derek Carr, nothing more than a risky GPP play at 5,400. You can't trust him. Same thing with Luck, just a contrarian pick. I'm not really trusting him. Matt Ryan is okay at 5,700. Moving on. Here's one I really like. Alex Smith. He failed last week. A lot of people were on him last week, and now I even picked him in cash games. I somehow squeezed out a win. Going against Green Bay Packers and Aaron Rodgers. If Aaron Rodgers plays, we fully expect him to play. This could be a shootout, could be a sneaky shootout, and Alex Smith won't be owned in a lot of leagues. I love Alex Smith this week as a contrarian pick, not a guy I'm fully trusting. Deshaun Watson, again, we meet again. 6,100, great matchup. The team goes where Deshaun Watson goes, and I feel like the price hasn't fully caught up to his potential. He's not really a trustworthy quarterback, but one with great upside. Every week, this guy has tremendous upside. Will Fuller is good to go. Hopkins is good to go. That means Deshaun Watson is good to go. And I think this is the safest quarterback yet again. Drew Brees, 6,400. If you're playing in a cash game, I don't see any other better option than Drew Brees. Again, cash game is 50-50, double ups, and head-to-head. Basically, when you have a 50% chance of winning or around a 45% chance of winning, Drew Brees is your man. He's going to throw the ball a lot. He's very efficient. He's very accurate. He's just a great quarterback. If you want a little bit more upside and a little bit more of a contrarian pick, I got Jimmy Garoppolo, and this is probably my favorite quarterback this week because a lot of people, including me, were high on him in the preseason going into this season. He had a tough matchup against the Vikings. I kind of liked what I saw out of him. He didn't perform well. He performed very bad, but I still like some of the plays he made. Still a little disappointing. And then week 2 came along. He was, again, a little bit disappointing yet again. Only 16 fantasy points here on CFS. Didn't do too well. Not a lot of yards, not a lot of touchdowns. But he did okay. Now, what we've been seeing, obviously what we've been seeing is that Patrick Mahomes is on fire. Best quarterback, right? But what another trend is, it's only been 2 weeks, but what another trend is that the opposing quarterback who's playing against Mahomes has been absolutely on fire as well. We saw Phillip Rivers perform extremely well week 1. Then we see Big Ben perform extremely well week 2. Both of those guys, of course, face the Chiefs. This is the reason I like Jimmy Garoppolo. Another reason, because he performed poorly, people aren't, the hype train is kind of worn off, right? We're all obsessed with Conor McGregor interview, press conference, which Ryan Fitzpatrick. We're all obsessed with Mahomes. The hype has been shifted to other places. Not as much hype on the 49ers. The 49ers didn't even get Josh Gordon, so it's pretty dim. Not a lot of big news there. They're not really trending. They're kind of flying under the radar. All the 49ers hype has been worn down. Of course, and then Baker Mayfield, of course. That's where the hype is. Cleveland Browns with their first win in a couple years. That's why I like Jimmy G. Shouldn't be owned that much this week. Make sure you keep tabs on Marquise Goodwin. Another reason I like this, because people won't be picking Marquise Goodwin because he's questionable game time decision. I expect him to play, but I don't know. Maybe he doesn't play. I honestly don't know if he plays. I just have a gut feeling that Marquise Goodwin will play. Who else we got? Oh, of course. Well, I'm not picking Cousins because I don't think he's going to need to throw in the fourth quarter. We're going with Mahomes. This is the obvious pick. And I don't have any hate for Mahomes this week other than a lot of people will own him. So I had Mahomes going in GPPs last week. Won a lot of money. Won a lot of coin. It ended up being really well. Especially if you picked Watkins in a couple lineups like I did. Who nobody picked. Did I say Hopkins? I meant Watkins. Nobody really picked Watkins in a Watkins-Mahomes stack. And nobody even picked Kelsey in a Kelsey-Mahomes stack. I saw a bounce-back game from Kelsey, but he bounced back way more than I thought he would. So like I said, nothing against Mahomes, except everyone's going to be owning him. He's going to be good, man. He's going to be good. I don't see my Niners winning this game. I see Mahomes putting up a lot of points. I really wanted to like Kareem Hunt this game, but I feel like the Niners can stop the run. I feel like Hunt is a little bit declining this year, and why do that? You know, why run the ball when you have Mahomes and all those weapons, Kelsey, Watkins, and Tyreek Hill? You know what, though? Kareem Hunt may be able to do some things in the pass game. That's how good Mahomes is, that I'm thinking Kareem Hunt might be able to be a good receiver this week. Could be a stack. I don't know if you're that crazy. And Aaron Rodgers, really only reason I'm picking him is because the hype is on Mahomes. The hype is in other places. And Aaron Rodgers has kind of been forgotten about. He's been playing amazing in real life, but not really what you want out of a QB1, drafted, number one quarterback in every league just about. Not really what you want. Still good though. I mean, he's still doing really well, and I think he won't be owned in a lot of leagues. Like I said, this could be a sneaky shootout against Washington if Alex Smith doesn't suck. Who we got here? Running backs. I think running backs this week, you want to save on them. I think wide receivers are a little bit more. You spend up on wide receivers, spend down on running backs. Alvin Kamara is great. But my RB1 this week is Todd Gurley. I see him putting up the most points. He's facing the Chargers. It's Gurley. That's what this offense is. Just like the Texans is Deshaun Watson all the way. this offense is girly. Not that Goff sucks and Goff is doing a bad job. Like, Goff is great. But I mean, they use Gurley. It's made pretty clear by Sean McVay that he loves Gurley. So this is my RB1. If you have enough salary cap and you want to spend up on running backs, I'd probably go with just this one guy, this one expensive running back, Gurley. Next up in price, I have Howard. I see him having a bounce back game against the Cardinals. Bears D's just too good. Coach Nagy said, we want Howard to get some more carries, a couple more carries. And I believe it. I think they should give the ball more to Howard. He's been very efficient. Maybe he'll punch in a touchdown or two. It's just that Trubisky has been very disappointing, and the offense hasn't moved quite how it should be. His weapons are good. The play calling is excellent. Everyone's playing well except for Trubisky, man. Trubisky, get it together so that way my Jordan Howard can score more fantasy points, please. And probably the best value, just considering price, has got to be this week, Tevin Coleman. Like, this is chalk, 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 chalk. 6,400. Everyone should be picking him. It's just a great matchup going against the Saints. The price is right. Devontae Freeman has officially been ruled out. You got to pick Tevin Coleman. Here's a sneaky start. Chris Thompson, I talked about this game, could be a little bit of a shootout. If Rodgers plays, he should play. I like Chris Thompson, especially in PPR scoring. Hunt, we talked about a little bit. Gio Bernard, with Joe Mixon out, Gio Bernard, it should be the starting running back. He should get a lot of snaps, a lot of targets, a lot of carries. He'll be good to go. And priced at only $5,900. This is a great matchup. We know he can run. We know he can catch the ball very well. And just recently, Dalvin Cook has been ruled out. So Latavius Murray, another great start. Look, I don't care if it's standard or PPR. He's going to be a great start because the Vikings are going to have the lead. They're going to give Latavius the ball a lot this game. And we have a similar situation here, except much cheaper. What's his price? Corey Clement is only $4,300. Ajayi's out. Sproles is out. Corey Clement has a questionable tag. But that's really just a precaution, I think. I fully expect him to play. I'd say about a 99.9% chance Corey Clement plays. He should be good to go. Going against the Colts, good matchup. Wentz is back. Offense hopefully should be able to move the ball a little swifter, a little easier. Move the ball down the field a little bit better. And $4,300, you're really not going to beat that cheap price. How can you beat that price? He can catch the ball. He can run the ball. He's a goal line back when need be. And, man, I absolutely love Corey Clement. Amazing, amazing, amazing. The price is right there. Moving on to some cheaper options. That's really like the best and cheapest is Corey Clement. But I want to give you guys some more cheaper options. Jordan Wilkins, I would consider. I wouldn't have more than 5 or 10% exposure. Meaning if I had about 10 lineups, I might have Jordan Wilkins in about one of them. Priced at $3,700. Marlon Mack is out. Jack Doyle is out. Jordan Wilkins will get a lot of snaps. And I like Nyheim Hines even more, though. This is my super sleeper pick. The cheapest guy I'd probably consider actually putting in my lineup. If I had 10 lineups, I may have Hines in, let's say, 2 lineups. $3,600, super cheap. He likes to catch the ball. He's a really good pass catcher. I see him getting a lot of catches this game. I see him getting at least 6 or 7 catches. Colts should be playing from behind. Like I said, Marlon Mack is out. Jack Doyle is out. That's some major players on that offense. So I see Hines getting a lot of snaps, a lot of carries. The Colts, rushing to the line, trying to play catch up, dumping it off to Hines. A lot of garbage time points, a lot of 2-minute drills come into halftime and in the fourth quarter. That's why I like Hines, a super sneaky pickup. And I don't know, to me it seems obvious, but I have a feeling that a lot of people won't be on this. It's just me. Yeah, I think so, because you have Coleman, you have Latavius, and you have Corey Clement, who's pretty cheap. How much is Corey Clement? $4,300. That's only $700 more than Hines. That's why I don't see Hines being owned in a lot of leagues. Like, I absolutely love Hines, man. I think he's going to be really good. and the price you can't really beat. Some other guys I wouldn't really consider picking up, but I did want to mention because I love to mention the cheaper players. So with mixing out, we also have the rookie Mark Walton on the Bengals. He's 3,500. He should be getting some run. Interesting to see what he does. Then Corey Clement's backup should be Smallwood, priced at 3,000. Don't think we'll be able to find him that easy, so let's just type in Smallwood, priced at 3,000. He probably won't do too much, but that's a minimum price right there, guys, so I definitely wanted to point that out. Maybe they'll preserve Clement a little bit. Smallwood is not that great of a running back, but the Eagles have a great O-line. They have a great offense, great team, and Smallwood can do some things behind that O-line. And not a guy you want to pick up, but I just wanted to mention Josh Adams. I mentioned him in a video in the preseason. Really excited about this undrafted free agent. I just added him in my Dynasty League. I drafted him, dropped him, and I just added him again just in case he does some things. This is, again, not a guy you want to pick in any lineups, but just watch. If you're watching the Eagles game, I suggest you do keep an eye out on these running backs because Jay may not be there next year. I want to see what Josh Adams does. I have a feeling he'll get a few touches. Will he get some goal line touches? Will he be like the power back on third downs? Will he do anything? I have no idea. I just know they activated him off the practice squad, and I'm really excited to see him play. I liked him in college. Okay. And are we done with the Josh Adams segment? Yes, we're done. Okay? That answer your question? We're done. That segment's done. Moving on to wide receivers. Not a lot of cheap ones I like. Michael Thomas. Well, Antonio Brown and Juju Smith-Schuster, amazing matchups. But they're not in the popular slate, so we're not going to talk about them too much. They're playing Monday Night Football against the Bucs. Will be a shootout. I love both these guys because I don't like the defensive backs that'll be defending them. Good luck to the Buccaneers defensive backs because Juju and AB, I mean, pick your poison. One of them will be wide open on just about every play. So other than the Steelers, I have Michael Thomas, my #1 wide receiver. Not necessarily has the highest ceiling though, but he has the highest floor. I think he'll do good. 20 fantasy points is to be expected. He'll get a lot of targets. He'll be efficient. Drew Brees and him have great chemistry. He'll put up a solid performance, maybe even a great performance. So his price is worth it. I like him in cash games. He's good in GPP too. Just a lot of options here. I don't want to go over all these guys. Who else we got? Odell Beckham. I want to talk about him. This is a super risky, only a GPP play. Don't pick him in cash. I see him having a bounce back game this week. Could be really good, but then again, he could fall flat. A little bit of a boom or bust player. Nobody will own Odell Beckham. That's why I like him. He shouldn't be owned in too many leagues, too many entries. I don't see it happening. So in GPPs, in tourneys, I like it. Contrarian pick. So week 1, I was on Thielen. Week 2, I'm on Diggs. So Thielen versus Diggs. Now I'm back on Thielen. Let's go with Thielen. I think he'll be good working in the slot. And Diggs will probably have a tough matchup against Tre'Davious White. But then again, just because I've been right week 1 and I've been right week 2, it's really tough to predict. It's almost like a coin toss. So it's tough, man. It's really tough. But I have to do that. I have to go with Thielen over Diggs. So last week I went with Diggs. Won big time. He really crushed it last week. Thielen didn't do too bad himself. What, Thielen 34 points? Wow. Diggs 38 points? Wow. Both of them did really good. So the price is only 100 difference. Thielen 7,800. Diggs is 7,700. They're going against the Bills, and one reason I like them, they're not going to need to throw the ball in the fourth quarter, but one reason I like them, there is no Dalvin Cook. So I think Cousins will have to throw the ball a little bit to score, and that's how they'll get the lead. And AJ Green, price seems a little bit messed up. Maybe they'll double team him. I don't know, but 7,500 for AJ Green is super cheap. It's just a cheap price. I think he'll do his damage. I think the Panthers will try to double team him, but maybe he'll be working from the slot a little bit. tough to double team. I like this offense. I like the play calling. I like the offensive coordinator. The Bengals O-line has been playing better than I expected. We know they improved, but they actually improved a lot more than I thought they would. Can't say the same thing about the Giants O-line, though. Thought they would improve. They did not. Who else we got? Keenan Allen, nothing more than a GPP play. The matchup is tough. But I don't think a lot of people will be picking Allen this week. Same thing with Hilton, nothing more than a GPP play, priced at 6,700. Bad matchup going against the Eagles. Some cheaper option. Now you know why I want to pay up for wide receivers, right? Tyler Lockett, I don't really like you, but I do like the price, 5,300. And then the Dolphins, I think we have some good matchups here with, I don't have the prices in front of me. Danny Amendola, 4,400 is a sneaky pick. And also Albert Wilson, who I think is 3,700. No, I don't know. I can't find him. Albert Wilson, 3,600. Oh, super cheap. Super cheap. He's been doing okay. 3,600. So if you want to go for a Ryan Tannehill stack, maybe you stack him with Amendola. Maybe you stack him with Albert Wilson. I think Parker is back this week or should play this week. I don't know about him. I don't know if you want to trust Parker. Can't really trust anybody, but just wanted to mention those guys. Good matchup there for the Dolphins going against the Raiders, and the prices are super cheap. Like I said, that's why. That's why I do want to pay up for wide receivers. Who else we got? A couple other options. I have Jamison Crowder, who out of every guy I talked about, this guy I probably trust the least amount. But hey, man, he's used to be good. And it could be a shootout going against Rodgers. Maybe he does something. Not a guy I'm dying to pick, but the price is super cheap. Probably rather go Albert Wilson, honestly, than Jamison Crowder. And another risky pick, DJ Moore, who hasn't got a lot of snaps, hasn't got a lot of targets. He's a rookie, but I think he'll eventually emerge as the best wide receiver on this Panthers team. And will that be week 3? Probably not, but realistically, there's a chance. There's a chance, and a GPP pick, 3,800, is cheap. Calvin Ridley, pretty much the same thing. Could be a little shootout between the Saints and the Falcons. A lot of times we expect this to be a shootout, this matchup, and it doesn't end up being. Also, we have Sanu. Maybe the Saints double cover Julio. Probably not, though. They'll probably just shadow him with Marshawn Lattimore and just leave him on an island. I don't know, though. Maybe they do double cover him. But I think if you had to pick another wide receiver other than Julio on the Falcons, it would have to be Calvin Ridley. Price at 3,700 isn't that bad. And that's probably the cheapest wide receiver I'd consider picking this week, other than Albert Wilson, who I just found out was only 3,600, which is, wow, that's really cheap. That's really cheap, man. Albert Wilson, 3,600. Might have to consider this guy. That's a cheap. And just wanted to mention again, a Goodwin is a game time decision. He's questionable because he has that questionable tag, and his price isn't too cheap. His price is 5,500. May want to consider him in some big GPP, some big tourneys. Okay. Sorry for all the wide receivers, but I think you get it here. We're going cheap on running back, at least getting 1 or 2 cheap running backs. We may go cheap, may go expensive on quarterback. We're going to spend up on wide receiver. And for tight end, we have a few options here. So my number one, a lot of people are ranking Kelsey number 1 this week, and rightfully so. I mean, he's got a great matchup. But I think Ertz is the tight end to go with. With all the injuries, I think Alshon's not playing again. He's been ruled out. And Wentz back. And Ertz is a great receiver. And no Ajayi, no Sproles. I think Ertz is the best tight end this week. And Gronk is not in this slate, by the way. But I still like Ertz as the number 1 tight end. Going against the Colts, I don't know, man. I think he's going to beast. I think 20 points is his floor. Tight ends are tough to predict, but I'm just saying, ranked number 1 for tight end for me, it's got to be Ertz. Who else we got? Moving on. Jimmy Graham, GPP picks, got to score a touchdown for us. Price of 4,900. George Kittle, kind of torn between this guy because I kind of like him. He's not really trustworthy. He's got a good matchup with no Eric Berry, who shuts down tight ends. He's not playing on the Chiefs. Chief safety Eric Berry, he's not playing. So I like Kittle. But I think I'd rather go with Trey Burton because the price is so cheap. $3,900. I can kind of rely on this guy. If Trubisky can play just a little bit better, Burton's going to be a really good tight end. Going against the Cardinals, the Bears should have the ball a lot. I see him being very good. And here's the chalk. Get ready for the chalk. You guys ready to eat some chalk? Here we go. Eric Ebron. I don't care what team he's going up against. What I do care is Andrew Luck's playing. Andrew Luck loves throwing to the tight end. Eric Ebron is a pass-catching tight end. No Jack Doyle, no Marlon Mack. I expect Eric Ebron to get a lot of targets. He has a high floor and an okay ceiling. And a cheap price, $3,400. Some more crazy GPP plays. Austin Hooper, cheap, $2,900. Ian Thomas, replacing Greg Olsen, only $2,800. He's the main tight end over there for the Panthers. Ricky Seals-Jones, $2,800. You really want to trust a Cardinals player? I didn't think so. That's why we're picking Ebron or Burton. But I want to give you guys some cheap options. And if you want to go cheaper and probably end up losing, we have Jake Butt, $2,700. Jonnu Smith, who did nothing last week and caught one ball in week 1, but there is no more Delaney Walker. Jonnu Smith priced at $2,700. I don't know much about him, but I would just have to say if Mariota, who's a game time decision, if Mariota is active, if he is playing, if he is healthy, I guess we would have to boost Jonnu Smith's value up. With no Mariota last week, he did nothing, so just wait and see what happens in Mariota. But giving you guys some cheaper options here. And, oh, you again. Mike Gesicki, his snaps have been increasing. And do I dare go with him again? I had a lot of lineups week 1, not going to lie. I had 2 with Mike Gesicki, kind of failed me, but he did get a red zone target. And now he's getting more snaps, so I'm not going to be able to find him because he's minimum priced. But Gesicki, man, been getting more snaps. I like him as just a crazy GPP pick, minimum price. So if you like, let's say, Michael Thomas, if you like Gurley and the price isn't really working, I'd be comfortable getting Mike Gesicki because if he does nothing, it's only $2,500. You just have to hit on your other players. It has happened a lot for me where my tight end has got 0 to 2 catches, have done basically nothing. But because they were minimum price, it has worked out. It's not an ideal situation, but man, $2,500. That's a pretty cheap price. Just compare that to like Jordan Reed, who's $5,400, or Kittle, who's $4,500. You know, those guys are about twice as much as Mike Gesicki. Just a comparison. Not even saying, like, I'm not even trying to sound like I'm convincing, not trying to convince you to pick Gesicki, just, you know, saying why he might be kind of attractive to pick this week. That's all. For defenses, shall we do it one more time? Who's playing against the Bills? Oh, the Vikings. Priced at $4,300. They're going to be well worth it. This game is going to be freaking intense. It's going to get bad and then worse for the Bills. It's not going to be cool. For $4,300, it's well worth it. Why am I even giving you guys other picks? I mean, the Bills' offense, you guys know, is non-existent. Even Shady McCoy's banged up. They don't really have a quarterback. They don't really have any receivers. They don't really have an O-line. Wow, does that sound... I mean, I'm just saying that out loud. That sounds really bad. Vikings are favored to win by like 16 points or something crazy like that. Just to give you some other options, Jags defense, really good. Priced at $4,000. It's only $300 less. And priced at $3,500. The Bears going against the Cardinals. Cardinals are almost as bad as the Bills. Some would say they're even worse. And some GPP picks, some crazy picks. Texans, $2,800. Going against the Giants, we know their O-line's not good. Broncos, this is even crazier. Priced at $2,400. Going against the Ravens. Ravens are favorited to beat the Broncos. I see the Broncos getting a W here. I mean, it's not going to be easy. I see it being close, but I do like the Broncos, man. I think they're a little bit underrated. Vegas, man, what's up? You guys have no love for the Broncos. They're doing okay. And my cheapest option this week would be the Cowboys, priced at $2,200, going against the Seahawks. They'll get some sacks. The Seahawks O-line is one of the worst in the league, if not the worst. It's so bad. And the Cowboys will get to Russell Wilson. I don't think Vegas respects this game either, because Russell Wilson doesn't have a lot of targets, man. With Doug Baldwin out, it's bad. Like, Russell Wilson can't do everything on his own. He can't throw the ball to himself. So for basically a minimum price defense, you could get the Cowboys at $2,200. They're sure to get some tips on the ball. They're sure to get some sacks, maybe some fumbles, maybe, you know, something. They're bound to get something, and this shouldn't be a high-scoring game. Like, listen, it's Cowboys, Seahawks. You think that's a shootout? Should be the opposite. And for those of you who want to hear me talk about kickers, I like Justin Tucker. I think he's the most reliable kicker this week. He has the highest floor, and why not? Like, he's got to have the highest floor. I think he's the best kicker in the league in real life, and I absolutely love him in fantasy, man. I think there's no safer option than Justin Tucker. Then I got Gostkowski, who probably has the highest floor. Should be a, how do you spell that? Oh yeah, he's not in this slate though. Oh, too bad. But Gostkowski's really good. I also like Dan Bailey on the Vikings. This is an amazing pick. I trust this guy even though he hasn't played this year. The Vikings just signed him. He'll be good to go, man. This is a good team. They'll have the lead. They'll settle for field goals. They'll run the ball with Latavius. They'll throw some short passes. They'll kick some field goals. They'll kick some extra points. Absolutely love Dan Bailey. Then Matt Bryant, one of the best kickers for sure on the Falcons. Harrison Butker. I like him this week. Not a lot long-term necessarily. Like, he's decent long-term, but not great long-term in my opinion. I do love him this week, though. I have him as a top 5. And, of course, we got to go with Jake Elliott. Now, I do love Jake Elliott long-term. Not necessarily this week that much, but he'll still be good this week. And I had to add him on as soon as I got word that Marlon Mack and Jack Doyle are out for the Colts. Eagles should have the league. Eagles have a great D-line. They have a great O-line. They have a great quarterback who's back. Wentz is back. They'll have the lead. They'll settle for lots of field goal attempts, lots of extra points. Well, there you guys have it. Congratulations to last week's winner, Keaton. You have won an NFL jersey. So go to NFL Shop, pick any jersey or really any item up to $100. Let me know what's up. I'll be shipping that to you guys. And so this week, guys, make sure you follow the link below. Go to Crypto Fantasy Sports. Enter any contest and comment below your username, and I'll pick another random winner to win another NFL jersey from NFL Shop. Yes, a real jersey. That's right. So go to CFS, enter any contest. It could be a free roll contest. It could be a paid contest. Whatever, sign up if you haven't signed up. So for absolutely free, you can win an NFL jersey yet again this week. If you guys liked the video, make sure you hit that thumbs up. If you disliked it, hit the thumbs down. Subscribe to the channel by, it's over here. There's a couch icon that should have popped up someplace over here. Hit that, subscribe, hit the bell icon, have notifications turned on so you won't miss any future videos. Tuesdays we're doing waivers, Wednesdays hack my lineup, Thursdays we're on the second YouTube channel doing the podcast, and Fridays DFS picks, which is this, and Saturdays we're doing special weekly snake drafts. I'll see you guys on the next video / live stream.